The Chronicles of Athera, The Rise of Shadows. The Ancient War. Before the main story begins, the prologue delves into the history of Athera, dating back thousands of years. It tells the tale of the creation of the five realms, united by the Council of Elders who ruled from the central city, Eridith. The five realms flourished in harmony, each contributing their unique skills and magic to the balance of the world. However, peace came to an end with the rise of the Shadow King, a powerful being of darkness born from ancient chaos. His rise was foreseen in the prophecy of Athera, a mysterious text found deep in the Elrosian libraries. The prophecy predicted a battle that would determine the fate of the world, the light against the darkness. The Council of Five, which once governed the realms, fought valiantly against the Shadow King and his armies, but they could only imprison him in the Shadowlands. The prologue also details the creation of the five Keys of Athera, powerful artifacts imbued with the magic of each realm. These keys were instrumental in sealing the Shadow King, but were lost after the First War, scattered across the world. Without them, the Shadow King could rise again. This prologue not only sets the stage for the current conflict, but introduces essential historical figures such as King Arlathor of Vordal, Queen Siona of Verdane, and High Sorcerer Elandor of Elros, whose legacies echo through the ages. Chapter 1. The Prophecy of the Five Realms. The story begins with Kalen, a simple farm boy from Verdun, living in a peaceful village on the outskirts of the great Verdane forest. His daily life is filled with ordinary tasks, tending to animals, and working the land. This chapter is devoted to establishing Kalen's life, his relationships with the people in his village, and his dreams of adventure beyond the boundaries of his home. The discovery of the ancient amulet in the woods changes everything. The amulet, pulsating with an eerie blue glow, ignites the first spark of Kalen's destiny. The reader is introduced to the legends of Verdane through Kalen's grandmother, a wise old woman who remembers the ancient stories of the lost kingdoms and the prophecy of the Shadow King. Her tales foreshadow the dark journey ahead. Kalen's initial resistance to leaving his simple life is explored in depth, adding emotional complexity to his decision to accept his role in the prophecy. The amulet also brings with it visions, dark, disturbing glimpses of a future where shadows consume everything. These visions drive Kalen forward, setting him on his path. Chapter 2. The Awakening of Powers. When the travelers from Elros arrive in Kalen's village, the atmosphere becomes tense. The people of Verdane distrust outsiders, especially those from Elros, known for their mastery of dangerous magics. Lysandra, a powerful mage from Elros, recognizes the amulet and realizes that Kalen is the first of the five destined to unite and stop the coming darkness. Lysandra's character is expanded here. Her backstory is revealed in layers. She was once a promising student at the Elrosian Academy of Magic, but left after a devastating event caused by forbidden magic. Her guilt and drive to prevent the return of the Shadow King make her a complex figure, torn between duty and personal redemption. Kalen's powers begin to awaken, much to his confusion and fear. At first, his abilities manifest in small ways. He can hear the whispers of the trees, feel the wind shift in ways others cannot, and sense the life force of creatures around him. These moments are described with vivid detail, showing his gradual realization that he is connected to the elemental magic of Verdane. Lysandra helps Kalen train, teaching him basic control over his powers. This chapter delves into the lore of Elrosian magic and the different schools of thought regarding elemental control. The reader also learns more about the world, its history, and the long-standing tension between the realms, especially between Elros and Verdane. Chapter 3. The Gathering of Heroes. This chapter is divided into subchapters, each focusing on the recruitment of one of the destined heroes. Every character's backstory is rich with detail, allowing for a deep dive into their motivations and personal struggles. These characters are not simply companions for Kalen, they have their own arcs that intersect and diverge from his. Rogan. In the icy wastelands of Vordal, Rogan is found as an outcast, banished from his homeland after refusing to follow the corrupt orders of his king. His internal conflict is explored through flashbacks to his time in the Vordalian army, where he was once a celebrated warrior. His relationship with his former comrades and his personal code of honor play a significant role in his development. Rogan's struggle to accept Kalen as his leader is a key theme, as he initially views the young farm boy as weak and unworthy. Seraphina. In the industrialized cities of Durn, Seraphina is a thief living in the shadows of a crumbling empire. The Durnites, once master engineers, now live under the oppression of corrupt officials who hoard the remaining resources. Seraphina's backstory is filled with intrigue. She was born into nobility but was forced into hiding after her father's assassination during a political coup. Her decision to join Kalen is reluctant at first, driven by a personal quest for revenge rather than loyalty to the prophecy. Seraphina's arc explores themes of trust, betrayal, and redemption. Thalion. Thalion's introduction is set in the deep forests of Verdane, where he serves as a ranger, protecting the land from invaders. His personal quest is one of vengeance, as his village was destroyed by creatures from the Shadowlands. Thalion is a stoic and reserved character, haunted by his past and driven by a sense of duty to protect his homeland. His deep connection to the natural world makes him a valuable ally, but he is slow to trust the others, particularly Seraphina, whom he sees as self-serving. Each of these characters has complex motivations, and their initial reluctance to work together provides a rich source of conflict and character growth. As the group travels, they encounter numerous challenges: raiders, mercenaries, and creatures sent by the Shadow King to stop them. These encounters are described in vivid detail, emphasizing the dangers of the journey. Chapter 4. The Trials of Elros. The Trials of Elros spans several subchapters, each trial testing the group in unique ways. The ancient magical trials designed by the scholars of Elros to test one's worthiness to wield the elemental powers of the realm are both physical and psychological. Trial of Wisdom. In this trial, the group must solve a series of puzzles in the Grand Library of Elros, where knowledge is power. Each puzzle is tied to the history of Athera, requiring the group to use not just their intellect, but also their understanding of the world's history. This trial deepens the reader's understanding of the ancient war and the origins of the prophecy. Trial of Courage. This trial forces each character to confront their deepest fears. For Kalen, it is the fear of failing to live up to the prophecy. For Rogan, it is facing the ghost of his fallen comrades. For Seraphina, it is the memory of her father's murder. The Trial of Courage is a deeply emotional chapter, filled with introspection and personal growth. Trial of Unity. In the final trial, the group must work together to navigate a labyrinth filled with illusions designed to divide them. This trial forces the characters to put aside their differences and trust one another, setting the stage for their future battles. The descriptions of Elros, its grand libraries, towering magical academies, and ancient temples immerse the reader in a world where knowledge and magic are intertwined. These chapters also explore the political tensions within Elros, where not all scholars agree that the Shadow King should be stopped. Chapter 5. Betrayal in the North. The betrayal that occurs in Vordal is a major turning point in the story. The traitor within the group is slowly revealed through subtle hints, strange behavior, secretive actions, and small acts of sabotage. When the betrayal finally happens, it leads to a devastating battle in the icy mountains of Vordal. The betrayal is not just a plot twist, but a moment of emotional devastation for the group. Trust is shattered, and the characters must deal with the fallout of one of their own turning against them. This chapter also delves deeper into the political corruption in Vordal, where the once noble kingdom is now ruled by a tyrant who has secretly aligned with the Shadow King's forces. Chapter 6. The Fall of the West. In the realm of Dern, the group finds a land in ruins. The once great industrial cities are now overrun by shadow creatures, and the people live in fear. Seraphina's personal quest for revenge against those who betrayed her family comes to the forefront here. Her internal conflict, whether to pursue vengeance or help Kalen stop the Shadow King, provides rich emotional tension. The battle to reclaim the fourth key of Athera is an intense, action-packed sequence, with the group fighting through hordes of shadow creatures in the ruins of an ancient factory. The descriptions of the mechanical wonders of Dern, now rusted and broken, add a layer of tragedy to the fall of this once great realm. Chapter 7. The Shadow King's Return. The journey to the Shadowlands is fraught with danger. As the group travels deeper into the heart of darkness, they face increasingly terrifying creatures and illusions designed to break their spirits. These chapters are filled with vivid, nightmarish imagery, as the Shadowlands are a place where reality is twisted and the laws of nature no longer apply. Each character faces their own personal trial as they approach the Shadow King's fortress. Kalen, in particular, is tempted by the power of the Shadow King, who offers him control over his destiny in exchange for joining the forces of darkness. The final battle against the Shadow King is an epic, multi-chapter confrontation. The group must fight not only the Shadow King's army but also the darkness within themselves. The battle is filled with moments of heroism, sacrifice, and personal redemption, culminating in a climactic showdown between Kalen and the Shadow King. Chapter 8. The Dawn of a New Age. After the Shadow King's defeat, the group returns to the realms of Athera, where they are hailed as heroes. However, the victory comes at a great cost. Lives have been lost, and the realms are forever changed. The characters reflect on their journey, and the reader sees how each of them has grown and evolved. The epilogue sets the stage for potential future conflicts, as the forces of darkness are never truly vanquished, only held at bay. The final scenes focus on Kalen, now a legend in his own right, as he contemplates his future in a world that is still healing from the scars of war.